Hi there, my beautiful chickadees. Welcome to today's diary entry. I'm Valeria Alicia. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about my first trimester recap. I can't believe we're in second trimester already. I'm actually almost halfway through this pregnancy. On Monday, actually when I'm posting this video, which is going to be tomorrow, can't believe we're almost halfway through this pregnancy. I feel like just yesterday we got a positive pregnancy test, but that's how quickly time goes with these things. But I wanted to talk to you guys about my symptoms and how my week to week went. With this pregnancy, I found out sooner than last time, so I feel like I have more things to talk about. This pregnancy has been completely different than my first one. So without further ado, before we get started with this video, please make sure to subscribe. It would be such an honor to have you. Click on that notification bell so you can keep up with all the new videos. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I've got quite a few things to cover here. So let's start with the day that I tested positive. So I tested positive on 12 DPO, which made me 3 weeks and 2 days at the time. So I wrote down that I got my positive test, and that day I became a morning person. I woke up at 5 a.m. in the morning and I was very thirsty. And that day, funny story is, I got up early in the morning. I started cooking breakfast for Gus because I thought he was still here, but that day he actually left early for work, so he wasn't here. That's really funny. So anyway, I got up, I started cooking breakfast and all the stuff, and all of a sudden it dawned on me. I'm like, I wonder what today is, because I stopped testing after 8 DPO because I just did not want to obsess over it. If you know what I'm talking about, you know why. I started testing at like 7 DPO to see if I would get a positive. I did not. And then I tried it again on the 8th and I didn't again. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to obsess over this. So I just stopped. I said, I'll try again at 12, maybe 15 DPO. So I woke up that day thinking nothing of it. I don't know why I thought 12 DPO was a couple days away. I had completely forgotten. And it wasn't until I woke up super early, started cooking breakfast and everything, I was like, what's today? And it was 12 DPO. So sure enough, I took a pregnancy test and I got my very first positive. And that's the only reason why I decided to test, because when I was pregnant with Isla, I became a morning person. Like, I'm not a morning person at all. I am totally okay with waking up at 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't like to wake up super early. I love sleeping in. So that was very, very strange for me. So that was my very first sign, is that I instantly overnight became a morning person, which is the reason why I tested. And then week 4, I wrote down that I was still very thirsty. My supply had actually dumped by 2 to 4 ounces a day. I was still pumping at work, which means that I was pumping 3 times a day. I do morning, afternoon, and nighttime. And I was starting to get a little tired. I wrote down couch potato. And literally that's all I would do. I would play with Isla, I would get up and I would watch her play, and I would just be so tired on the couch. And then week 5, I wrote very sore boobs. My supply dumped by half. So I went from getting about 8 to 10 ounces to getting about 6, sometimes 5 ounces. I was devastated. It was so frustrating because I was trying to keep up with my supply. I was doing everything that I could possibly do, and it was not enough. I was very thirsty and I was craving Mexican tostadas. And then week 6, it says that I had my very first doctor's appointment. We got to see the baby, not multiples. I wrote down specifically that because my doctor thought that we were possibly pregnant with multiples because we had a miscarriage, not a chemical pregnancy the month before. I am over 30, I'm breastfeeding, so my chances have gone up because of that. So he wanted to make sure, and it's only one. And more intense persistent nausea, along with being very tired and sore breasts. Pumping is starting to become a challenge, trying to control my nausea by eating ahead of time. and we told our parents that we were pregnant during week 6. So we used the ultrasound, and I took like a digital positive pregnancy test to both of them, and it was really exciting to share with our family, you know, the big news that we were pregnant with baby number 2. And then week 7, I wrote down more persistent nausea and hard to brush my teeth, specifically in the morning. So for some reason, this happened to me with Isla as well. When I would brush my teeth, if I get somewhere past the middle of my tongue, forget it. I am like gagging like crazy, and at times you could see like liquid come out. It was awful. It's awful, and it lasted such a long time. It's starting to get better. It's still around if I get a little too comfortable brushing my tongue, but it's gotten so much better. What else did I say? I started taking my prenatals at night to prevent the nausea. Eating doesn't control nausea, and it's hard to do at times. Craving Bosa donuts. And then week 8 says hard time pumping, very sore nipples. I experienced bleeding while manually pumping. So I had switched from using my pump to actually doing it manually so that I could do it more gently. I felt like my boobs were just kind of very uncomfortable and sore. So for that reason, I was trying to do it manually, and all of a sudden it looked like the breast milk looked dark. And then when I looked down, sure enough, there was blood coming out. So what else? I noticed lots of hair loss whenever I'd brush my hair more than normal. So this is something that I actually mentioned to my doctor, and he said that it might have to, I think I wrote something down about that too. It is normal for you to lose some hair at the beginning of your pregnancy or so, but he said if it consists, like if it keeps happening, then we'll probably look more into that. But I think he was waiting for my hormones to kind of level out, you know, with the whole breastfeeding and everything else. I think it was something that he just wanted to make sure wasn't abnormal. And then week 9, extreme nausea. That lasts pretty much all day is what I wrote. It lasts all day now. My second doctor's appointment and ultrasound. Baby was looking good and growing very well. I told my coworkers I was pregnant. Finally, that was such a relief. I dropped my 3rd pumping session of the day, so I dropped my work pumping session, which was afternoon, because I couldn't do it anymore. It was getting very painful and uncomfortable, and it was honestly getting extremely frustrating because I was only getting at this point 4 to 5 ounces when I was used to getting 8 to 10. So my supply had dumped immensely. Let's see, I asked my doctor about my hair loss, and he said I should start thinking about stopping my breastfeeding journey. So that was something that I was trying my hardest to not do at this time still. I really wanted to keep up with my supply for the simple fact that I wanted to give her all the antibodies that I could. So I was doing everything possible to keep up with my breastfeeding journey, but we'll talk more about that in a separate video, I'm sure, soon. Week 10, I'm still very nauseous, but the intensity has gone down. So we're starting to do better. It does last all day at times, but not as severe. I was craving fresh fruit, pears specifically, and severe itching around my legs, stomach, and arms, and skin feels like it's cracking. So around this time was when I made this like shea butter oil mixture, body butter, to try to get that under control, but it feels like that made it worse. And I started to look up why the oils weren't helping, and turns out that oils are actually not that great for your skin. It gives you like this false feeling that your skin is hydrated when in reality is not. So I stopped, and I noticed that when we went to California on vacation, I took my body butter with me, and I didn't feel like I needed to use it, so I didn't. During like 2 or 3 days, my skin felt fabulous. Mind you, we were also in a humid you know, climate, weather around the beach area. And so over here it's extremely dry. I live in a desert. Arizona is uber dry, especially around the summertime. So my skin was just not having it. That's something new that I had never even experienced in my entire life. So it was very, very challenging at night, especially because I was itching everywhere. But that has actually gotten better. Again, I'll talk more about that in a separate video. Week 11, pumping getting harder and harder. I dropped down to 1 session a day manually. So I went from doing it 3 times to 2 times, and now I'm down to 1 time a day. I was getting 5 to 6 ounces a day, still tired some days. I was able to control nausea by keeping my stomach full, especially in the morning, forcing myself to eat a good breakfast before starting my day. Itching still happening. So yeah, the itching lasted a very, very long time. More than I had liked to, because I thought I had it under control, but again, I didn't. More on that later. Week 12, random nausea that doesn't last all day. Still having a hard time brushing my teeth without gagging. I was able to control nausea by keeping my stomach full. I was craving sushi. Had our 12-week ultrasound and got to see baby again. All looking good still. Had our pregnancy announcement photo shoot. That was a lot of fun. That was the day that we actually went out for the first time in years because of, you know, everything going on. And we had sushi. Don't worry, I didn't have any raw fish. We could not wait to announce our pregnancy to everyone, including our family back home and our friends. And then week 13, nausea is pretty much non-existent at this point. Starting to regain my energy, craving Taco Bell nachos. Announced our pregnancy on social media and the rest of our family and friends. So I'm running out of battery, so I'm trying to speed up this video, but that is all for my pregnancy symptoms during the first trimester. It was quite a lot. The nausea was so intense. You guys saw I posted a video of a bad day that I had during my 9 weeks. It was just, it was nonstop. And it was to the point where even my coworkers noticed. They even told me afterwards, like, I had a feeling you were pregnant because you just had this look that, you know, I couldn't help but feel that you were pregnant. And so I feel like no matter what you do, sometimes you just look a certain way. I remember my boss came in one day and I had made it a point to like put on makeup, get ready and all that stuff. And he walks in and the first thing he says to me, he goes, "Are you doing okay? Is everything all right?" And I was like, oh my gosh, how does he know? But, you know, apparently I don't see it, but others do, which, you know, that's just how it works sometimes. But if you guys have any requests, questions, I plan on doing some videos that I have in mind to do is about my pumping journey. I also want to talk about cloth diapering my child, because I've been doing that for over a year now. And a whole bunch of good stuff like baby products. If you guys have any ideas, questions, leave them in the questions down below, in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys want to see next. And of course, let's end this video with a baby bump. So I am currently 19 weeks pregnant, and this is what the bump looks like right now. We're almost there. Got a little something there. Baby boy is growing. And there you have it. I'm excited. I can't believe that we're having a boy. I honestly had no idea. I was asked on Instagram why I was team girl, and to be honest with you, it's because the ultrasound tech had a really hard time finding or making sure she could have a good view, so that made me think that it was a girl, because I feel like girls are kind of harder to look at than boys. So I was like, oh, it's totally gonna be a girl. So I was in my head thinking that, but I had zero feelings or like gut instinct, nothing like that. It's just, I honestly thought it was gonna be another girl. But we're having a boy and we're super excited. I would love to hear from you guys any names that you guys had. Last time I asked you guys for ideas, it was awesome in the comments section. Left me some really, really good names, so I'll take it again this time if you guys have any suggestions. And I'm gonna stop my rambling. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video. And until then, un besote. Mwah. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something better.